Oh, you must be the new farmer I've been hearing so much about. I'm Dawn. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I actually happened to be walking through your farm on the way to the forest, and I'm surprised to see it back up and running as good as when my father was younger, if not better. I love the little lambs you have running around, and I noticed you even have a forgery going. Hopefully you're not delving into those mines too terribly often. I hear they can be rather dangerous, especially with the magic forces around here being disturbed recently. Oh, well, you know, the Junimos have been acting rather antsy recently, haven't they? I noticed while my cart came rolling in that everything around here has an aura of displeasure around it. And it's not coming from Jojamart, if you know what I mean. I mean, unless you support them, which is, well, it's a choice. Everyone makes choices. Even so, I'm sure you wouldn't want your farm falling into too much disarray after everything, right? All the more reason for me to return home for a little while. Oh, yes. I used to live here a long, long time ago, when I was just a little girl. My father, M. Rasmodius, taught me at least half of everything I know. That was before I joined the traveling merchant. Don't look so shocked. There are things out here even the Junimos don't know about. Though, I suppose you could say my origin isn't exactly one of them. But yes, my father is the wizard of Pelican Town. Or, I suppose, of the forest just outside of it. Why, yes, I do have a sister. Why do you ask? Oh, you curious little farmer, you. Perhaps I will indulge your curiosities another time. But for now, I think I'd like to keep you guessing. After all, where's the fun in telling you everything right away? Yes, I suppose I do get that from my father. Let me guess. Did he have you drink his special potion and do the fancy dance in order to give you the ability to see the Junimos yourself? Yes, it's a ritual, I know. I just like teasing him. Of course he did. He's still up to his old shenanigans. I just would have hoped that he would have left that moldy tower more often by now. Ever since his last divorce, he's been, well, I'm not going to say depressed, but he's enjoyed being inside more often than anything else. He doesn't want to explore the world like he used to. He spends all his time setting up enchantments to protect the valley and reading through those dusty books and old tomes until his hair turns gray and no longer glows as purple as it used to, and his eyes are too dull to focus. I mean, I know why he does it. I understand why he's here, but that doesn't mean it doesn't pain me, knowing that my father spends his life surrounded by rune-carved walls and potions more than he does people. It's a good question. Why did I leave? Well, it's a long story, but also not very long at all, I suppose. You see, living in the tower isn't anything like living in Pelican Town. I'm sure you can feel it when you're there, even with the limited connection to the powers that you have. The magic is thick in the air here. It listens, it presses back, and for a child who inherited arcane blood, it pulls. If I had stayed, I wouldn't have just learned magic. I would have been shaped by it, molded into a scholar, a ritualist, another Rasmodius tied to the tower forever. I was never built for stillness. I felt the world calling louder than the ley lines, the forest, the shifting seasons, the wandering spirits. They always spoke to me more clearly than the old tomes. And I realized something fairly early on. Magic out in the world behaves so very differently than it does in the tower. So, I left. Not like my father's ex out of anger and frustration, not like a rebellious child doing it out of, well, rebellion, but more out of self-preservation. I wanted... No, I needed to understand magic how it lives. In the traveling merchants, in old charms, in strange seeds found in the dirt, in half-broken artifacts that still remember what they used to be. That's why I joined the traveling cart lady when she first arrived in town. The cart moves where the magic moves. It follows hidden currents my father can only study from afar now. I never meant to hurt him when I left. Even though I know I did, being alone can be terrifying. Which is why I always try to visit on the days the traveling cart comes back to town, often staying from Friday night till bright and early Monday morning, before the birds even have their say. Every time I visit, it's a reminder. I left to become myself. Not just the wizard's daughter, but something new, something brighter, something a little wild. And every time I leave, I carry a bit of him with me, and a little back to the world, back to him. I know, it sounds a bit sappy, I suppose, but it's all true. What brought me back this time? Well, in all honesty, like I said, things have been acting very strange recently. Of course, during my years adventuring the world, I've noticed plenty of odd occurrences. Cursed trinkets, whispering seeds, potions that hum when the moon rises. But recently, something's changed. Items in the cart have started reacting, not just to the world, but to each other. A crystal from the desert resonated with a forest charm. A Junimo trinket started glowing just yesterday when I passed Cindersnap. Even my own magic has started behaving unpredictably, like it's being tuned into something bigger, something dangerous. And that only happens when a major magical convergence is occurring. It's something my father had warned me about when I was just a little girl. It doesn't just cause little inconveniences. It has the power to reshape the whole valley. I came back because my father, Rasmodius, is the only one who truly understands the ley lines beneath the valley. He's been studying them for years. But there's something he doesn't have anymore. Just like he's been studying, he's been stuck in that tower since, well, at the very least, since I left. While me, I've been out there. I've touched wild magic. I've seen what's slowly waking up. I'm not here to move back home. I'm here to warn him. And maybe, because whatever this thing is, I really don't want to face it without my dad in my corner. Huh? You want to help? Wait, no. That's perfect. We could honestly use all the help we can get. I'm going to need to stay here, near the tower with my father to start preparing for the impact of whatever's coming, but you have connections to places neither of us have been before. You can move through every layer of the world without the fear of ever being bound to them. The mines, the spirit realm where the Junimos reside, the Skull Cavern, even Ginger Island. And if you haven't made it there yet, we can always find a way to get you there. Here, take this. This charm will help you attune yourself to magic, to be able to spot anything that even slightly relates to it, like a glow stick in the dark. If you find anything, and I mean anything, that looks out of place or not quite right, for instance, I don't know, a glowing gemstone, a fish where it's not supposed to be, crops growing overnight, monsters acting in ways they never used to, I want you to either bring it or report it back to me. My father and I can start stabilizing them one by one, and maybe, just maybe, we can stop any of this before it even happens. Thank you, Farmer. I knew I could count on you. I felt it when I first saw you. And hey, don't shy away from just stopping by for a chat, or maybe a potion or two when you feel like it. You provide a really comforting presence, and stars know we need more of that around here, especially now. But that's enough of that. I really should get going and let my father know everything that's happened. I'll see you around, Farmer? Good. I'm looking forward to it. Alright. Bye.